Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley here for Pinkfresh Studio. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm sharing how you can use your basic shape dies to create your own custom DIY stencils. These are great for ink blending, stamp masking, or even adding glitter paste or embossing paste to your card projects. Now for this project, I'm going to be featuring the new Folk Floral Stem product suite. That is a mouthful, which includes the options for stamp, hot foil plate, layering stencils, and a coordinating die. So today I'm going to actually just use the hot foil plate along with the coordinating die. Now to create my DIY custom stencil, I'm going to be using some nice acetate. I'm using the Essentials by Ellen clear plastic here, and the Pinkfresh Studio nested circle dies. These coordinate with the nested circle frames hot foil plates. And I'm going to start by cutting my acetate to 6 inches by 6 inches. Now this is going to be the overall size of my stencil, but you could make this stencil any size that you want. You can make it the same size as an A2 card front. You could even make a slimline stencil or a mini slimline stencil. It's completely up to you. But I think 6 by 6 is a great size. So you can see I have my square of acetate here. Like I said, this is a pretty heavyweight acetate. And I'm going to place this onto a piece of black cardstock so you can see me working on this acetate. I'm sorry for the reflection, but that's just the way it is. So I'm positioning my die towards the upper 1/3 of this square of acetate. And then I'm holding it in place with some repositionable tape, some low tack tape. And then I am going to put this through my die cutting machine. Now I think the trickiest part about all of this whole process is actually the die cutting of the acetate. So you probably saw me position my metal shim into my cutting sandwich there, and I actually placed the die with the blade side facing the metal shim of this Gemini Junior die cutting sandwich. And that makes cutting this acetate a breeze. So if you're having some difficulty die cutting acetate, you likely need a metal shim in there. And with the Gemini Junior, their manual actually states that you can die cut into that metal shim. So you can see here I am left with my stencil as well as a circle piece of acetate that I can use for masking as well. So I'm going to position this onto a piece of A2 sized cardstock. So this is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I've added some repositionable tape to the back to hold that stencil in place. And I'm going to start ink blending. Now I am using Hammer Mill cardstock today because I find that it blends really well. And I'm using my Pinkfresh Studio inks in Apricot, Peach Fuzz, and Coral Reef. So I started out with Peach Fuzz, and now I'm bringing in the Coral Reef. And now I'm going to go back to Peach Fuzz, and where those colors overlap, I'm going to make sure that I kind of enhance that blend there. So you'll see me kind of go back and forth between both the Peach Fuzz brush and the Coral Reef brush. Then I'm going to move to my apricot, and I'm going to bring that in just from that lower right hand kind of corner, if you will, of this circle and kind of blend that on. And then I'm going to just wipe over the whole thing, clean up the excess ink, and then I can remove my stencil, and you can see I have this beautiful spotlight effect. This is going to serve as kind of a grounding point for my focal image and kind of bring the eye in, because I'm not planning on adding color to the focal image. And this is kind of one of those ways that you can get around adding color to a focal image. You can kind of let it stand on its own in like embossed on vellum or foiled like I'm doing today. Now I die cut this down to kind of center everything up because I didn't get that circle exactly where I wanted it. And I'm just using one of the plain rectangle dies from the Folk Edge rectangle set. And once I had that die cut down, I thought it would be fun to add a little bit of texture. And I could not wait to use this new Dotted Scalloped cover plate from Pinkfresh Studio. I love this. It gives me total mermaid vibes. Can't wait to make a mermaid project with it. And so I just taped that in place again with the same tape I've been using this entire time. And I ran that through my die cut machine, and it gives me this beautiful dotted scallop pattern all over my card front. So now let's go ahead and foil that Folk Floral Stem. I have my plate on my foil press. My foil press is set to medium heat. I placed my foil with the pretty side down onto my hot foil plate. Then I added my hammer mill cardstock and my shim. I set my timer for a minute, and once that timer went off, I removed the platform from the base and ran that through my Gemini Junior, and I have this beautiful foiled image. So gorgeous. And when you die cut this, there is just something about the curvature of this stem and the daintiness of it. It is so beautiful. So I'm aligning the coordinating die and I'm holding it in place again with that same tape and running it through my die cut machine. Now, in addition to this foiled floral stem that I'm using today that I'm die cutting here, I'm also going to use this die to die cut some plain white heavyweight cardstock 3 additional times. I'm going to layer these up to create some dimension behind this delicate floral stem so that it really has some weight to it and that I don't have to put adhesive behind that thin little stem of it and kind of the delicate flowers and leaves that are to the side. So I have 3 additional white die cuts here. I'm adding liquid glue to the top of the first one and stacking another one on top. And then I'll add liquid glue to the top of that and add a 3rd die cut to my stack. And I'll finish my stack off with the foiled stem. Now, I wanted to say, I realize not everybody is on the hot foiling bandwagon, and that's totally fine. You could recreate this card with the coordinating stamp set, and I have that linked below in the description as well. You could heat emboss this in gold on vellum or even on white cardstock and create a beautiful card project as well. You would just follow these same directions, but instead of the process of hot foiling, you're going to heat emboss that image instead. I would, if you're going to use this on cardstock rather than vellum, I would recommend cutting out those additional die cut shapes to add a little bit of weight to this on the front of your card and add some dimension. I think that dimension just really brings a lot of life to a card. So now that I have all of these stacked up, I'm going to bring in the background that I created earlier, and I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back of my die cut stack here. And I'm going to position it onto my card front. Doesn't that look beautiful? Do you see how that stenciled area really brings your eye into the focal image of that floral stem? I think it is so beautiful. And the curvature of that floral stem really kind of wraps around the base of that circle. It's so beautiful. This would be beautiful covered in glitter paste as well, but I didn't want to go, too overboard. So I took my card front and adhered it to a top folding A2 size card base, and now I'm adding my sentiment, and I hot foiled this sentiment onto some vellum using the fancy script hot foil plate set from Pinkfresh Studio. This looks gorgeous on vellum. I tried several different sentiments, and this is what I came up with. I love how the vellum doesn't take up a lot of space on the card, if you get what I'm saying. It kind of allows that circle and that floral stem to remain the focus of the card, but I still have that beautiful foiled sentiment there without it being too heavy and weighty. So I'm finishing this card off with the brand new clear iridescent drops from Pinkfresh Studio. I have them in that beautiful brass tray, which I absolutely love. I added those on with some liquid adhesive, and that finishes off my card project today, featuring my own custom DIY stencil. Now, on this project, I used a circle die, but keep in mind that the nested diamonds or the nested hexagons or even the stars from Pinkfresh Studio would be a great die set to use for this technique. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Thanks for watching. I hope this video inspired you. If you enjoyed this video and this project, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the paper crafting and card making video tutorials shared here. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.